like to write, and I am a fisher.
Wow, you fish. Okay, that's something that I think's amazing by itself. It's something that I don't do, but I think that's great that that's something that you do.
Yeah, I started fishing with my children up in the Poconos, and haven't done it in a little while, but I'm trying to get back there.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean that's something I've done it a couple of times. One of the times I got I got seasick, and so I was basically throwing up the whole time. So that wasn't really that enjoyable for me. But
Oh, wow.
I gotta say, definitely something I need to do again and get some more experience with it. And we have Cheryl Long tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Says love you, sis. That must be your brother tuning in.
Yeah.
So, what inspired you to author the books in the Cherish series? And we can start off and go down the list for each one. But what inspired you to write these books?
Well, I had a really good friend of mine when I was younger who experienced a lot of sexual abuse in her home. She didn't tell anyone at first as it was going along, but then she did share it with me. She lived in the house with the abuser, with her mother's boyfriend. And eventually, she ran away from home, and I didn't see her for a long time. Maybe about 5 years ago now, I saw her again. She had lost, and she wound up having a bunch of children. She lost all her children, and when I saw her, she was just really getting out of recovery. And so, we sat down for a while, caught up, and, she told me about all of the trauma that she went through after she left, she ran away. And her story just really, really always stuck with me. And then after finding out what she went through, all those years, and it just, haunted me kind of, I should say. I went to sleep one night, and when I woke up the next day, her story was still on my mind. And I always wrote things down that bothered me, so I began to write. And before I knew it, I had an outline of the story. I had the name of the character. I just knew I had to write her story. And so that's how this series became. It's her story.
Awesome. And I think that, being able to share that story, I think is definitely something that people can relate to too. And that's the greatness about writers and authors, because they're not only sharing something that that they want to write about, but it's also something that people can relate to. And I commend you on sticking to it and going through the series of books. And once again, we have Cheryl Long on the show. Thank you so much for coming on. Multi-book author. Where did you get the inspiration for the book's cover?
So as I began to write the story, I knew that it was a really deep story. And it was a really, really deep story. But it was so much information that I started to think about her evolution, the things that she went through when she was young. And so I decided that I was going to make it a 3-part series. So when I started really thinking about it, faces came to my mind. And so I wanted to blend the faces together so you could kind of see like a person that was, tears coming out her eyes, and then she kind of her evolution through the time through the books, you can see her different faces. So each of my covers represent different parts of faces. And so the first book is called As the Flowers Bloom, a Floweret. So that's her just being. And then the second book is called Bursting of the Flower. And the third one is called, Bursting of the Flower, Springing of the Bud, because in book 2, she runs away. and she goes through a lot of trauma on the streets, and then, someone takes her in. So that's like a springing of the blood because she's out on her own now, and, the streets is worse than kind of at home, but she had to get away from home because of all the things that happened there. And then the third one is called Full Blossom. It's from Decay to Rebirth, because you get to see after all the trauma she went through, she starts to regain herself. So that's kind of like where I got it from, and I got with an illustrator friend of mine, and I just, shared my story with her and what I kind of wanted to portray through my books, and so we came up with the meshing of faces.
Awesome. Now, where, I'm going off the path a little bit, but I want to get this question in. Where can everyone get the book or the set of books?
They're on Amazon. They are on England Spark. They are on BookBuddy. They are all online. They're also on my website. My website is called Dear Daughters Love Mom. Is www.deardaughterslovemom.wordpress.com, and also my author's website, www.CherylLong.wordpress.com. So yeah, you can get them off at Amazon. I have them in ebook form for those who like to read books on their phone, on their tablet, and also paperback.
Awesome. Now, who has been the most significant influence on you personally and as a writer?
Well, Phyllis Wheatley, for me, she's an author of the book called Tumbling. She is one of my favorite authors, so she has always been an inspiration to me. But my children, most definitely, my mother and father, my grandmother, who has passed away, she always told me I was going to be a great person. So, those are the people that have been really significant to me. And I actually have to give shout out to this guy named Brian Johnson. He kind of like pushed me and said, hey, you think you can write? So, I'll get you a computer. You need Dragon? I'll get you that. So he's been one of my biggest supporters. My friends, I have a lot of support. My aunts, my uncles, I have a lot of family support. So those are the people that kind of really, inspired me to get this going again. I actually had a therapist, put a challenge out to me. Like, you're worried about different things in your life. Put your worry away. You know how to write. Spend your time writing. And she challenged me last May to start writing. And I took her challenge and just began to write. And by November, I was doing my first book signing.
Wow. And that encouragement, especially as you're going along, especially as you may be going through a tough situation or a tough time, that inspiration goes a long way. It really does, especially in being an author and a writer. And once again, we have Cheryl Long on the line. What were your struggles or obstacles you had to overcome to get the book or the books written in this series?
Well, the first struggle I had is really just putting my mind to writing. Sometimes you don't find the time to write when you have a full-time job, you're a parent, and, you go to work, you come home, you're mentally tired, you don't really want to do it. But, once I really decided to give it a go, it really was easy because, like I said, I always liked to write. When I was in the 5th grade, I had a 5th grade teacher, Mr. Barnes. I hope you're listening. But he really inspired me as well. He always said I could write, and that my stories were really like over the top and elaborate, that I was going to be a writer one day. So I kind of kept that in the back of my mind. But, I stopped procrastinating, and I really just, put pen to paper, put my mind to it, and, I started to get it going. And, it's still a struggle every day. to write, but there is so much in me that every day I'm writing. I'm writing every day, all day long sometimes, of course, once I'm done my work at work, but
Right.
I like to write. So it's kind of, it's almost like breathing.
Yeah. Wow. And that's a good analogy, because for me that's sports. I mean, I talk that every day in my sleep, even when I'm at work. I'm supposed to be talking about work stuff. I'm talking about sports. So I definitely hear you, and that's clearly a passion I can see. So we have the 3 books in the series that we've been talking about, but tell the listeners about your other books, some other books that you have, and some other ones that are out there and available.
Sure. I also write books about children who have life-threatening diseases and how they triumph over them. So one book that I wrote is called A Jaden Story. It's a sickle cell story. It's about my godson. His name is Jaden, and he has sickle cell anemia. But you would never really, you wouldn't know, because he just chugs along. He's a normal kid, but there are times that he had to go to the hospital, get blood transfusions. He never really whined and cried. He was actually more worried about how his mom was taking it. And Jaden's about 8 now. But that I wrote another book for autism. I did one on cerebral palsy. That should be coming out next month. I'm doing one on diabetes, and also one on autism. So I have a really good friend whose son, and they live in Texas, that has autism plus dermatitis disease, and sometimes he, can't go out in the sun, or he has to have a lot of sunblock on. With the autism also, really loud noises bother him, but you would never really be able to tell. He does taekwondo. So, I love these kids who triumph through these diseases and just, keep it pushing. So that's always been like something that I like to write about. I also write children's books, where my daughter, her name is Robin. She had a cat back in the day called Calico. She's actually 14 now. And so I wrote a series of books about her and her cat Avengers. So get those books also. They're out. I have a ton of ebooks because, I like to write books about things that I've gone through in my journey. I wrote one called How to Deal with the Silent Treatment. I have one out there, How to Forgive When Your Heart is Broken. I have one out there about loving yourself, because, you have to love yourself to be able to love other people. And I have one out there called Facing the Fear of Being Alone. So, and then I have several coming out. So, yeah, those are the books that I have out right now. They are all available on Amazon, also on my website. So, check them out, guys. I got them on ebook, and some of them will be out on paperback as well.
Yeah, and ebook is perfect, because people are on the go. People want to read it on their phones. They may be out and about, and you don't have to carry around a paperback book anymore. You can have easy access to it in the palm of your hand. That's just like the Bible. That's like whatever app that's on there. You have the access to it, and I think that's a great tool for authors, is that you could have a book that's electronic and it's easy for everyone to access. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it is. I mean, but I like paperback myself. But, ebook is like you said, is wonderful, is out there, and that's the way the technology is going. So I'm glad it's available.
Yeah, and everybody has their preference. So, it depends on what each person likes or does not like. So that's definitely a good point. So, we talked about, you have children's books, you have books really for all ages, but who would you say is your target audience and why?
Well, for the Cherish series, my target audience is pretty much it's everyone, but abused children and women of